Hi book friends! Today's episode of Biblio Happy Hour is brought to you by Biblio Finder, a new online directory for independent bookstores. Biblio Finder allows users to find bookstores worldwide based on your current or planned location. Hi book friends! Welcome to Biblio Happy Hour, a podcast that's sharing bookseller stories, what's new in books, and everything bookish. I'm your host, Victoria Wood. In today's show, we'll be talking to Amber Price, and she is the owner of The Bookman, a bookstore with two locations, one in Chilliwack and the other in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Before I get started with today's show, I just wanted you to know that you can tune in to our new Biblio news segment every Monday right here on Biblio Happy Hour. We'll be sharing new releases for the week, other titles to look out for in future, bookstore events, and what's trending. Looking for more bookish content? You can listen to our off-the-cuff discussions, get top-shelf monthly recommendations, behind-the-scenes content, perks, and more over on our Patreon page. Patreon allows listeners like you to support a show you love, plus it helps us to grow and embark on new and amazing projects for both the book and bookstore community. It's super easy, so check out the details and the different levels you can support us over at patreon.com/bibliofinder. I'll also leave a link in the show details. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, please don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review the show. Alrighty everyone, let's talk with our guest. Amber, thank you so much for coming on the show, and welcome to Biblio Happy Hour.
Thank you so much for having me, Victoria. I'm very honored to be on here.
We're so excited to have you, and again, thanks for taking time out of your day. So before we get started, really quick, are you a coffee or a tea person?
Well, given that I'm drinking a coffee out of my Cats, Books, and Coffee Life is Sweet cup right now, I would definitely say that I am a coffee person. But in the evenings, I have to say that I often kick back with a cup of tea. We have a local tea brewery called Aromatica, and they are an award-winning international tea company, and they've got the most delightful array of green teas you've ever tried, so I often have a green tea in the evening.
Tell us about your bookstore, where you're located. I know you have two locations, so you can start with your flagship first, but I also want to know about your day because I know something special happened today. I've never heard about it before, and I want our listeners to know about it too.
Yeah, so our flagship store is in Chilliwack, British Columbia. It's an absolutely beautiful city. We're coming up on about 100,000 residents here. Chilliwack is nestled amongst mountains and rivers and lakes. Our natural beauty is second to none. And we've got a really small town feel, even though we've got tons of people that live here, so it hasn't lost that charm. Our bookstore is located on Wellington Avenue, which is in the historic downtown, and our building was actually built in 1890.
Wow.
So there's a lot of history. This was the main drag back in the day of horse and carriage transport. So The store itself has been in our family since 1993 and was started back in 1963 by a woman named Erna Ford. So we've got a lot of history in the town as well with our shop.
Earlier today, when we were just talking about the children from the elementary school nearby that are visiting the bookshop, see, I would have killed if I was in school and they took us on a trip to a bookstore. I would have died and gone to heaven if that had happened to me. Tell us about that. What's that about?
So my mom was in education for 26 years, and she specialized in learning assistance and reading programs. And this is a second generation family business. My dad is known as the Bookman everywhere he goes, hence our name. So I've grown up understanding the importance of early childhood literacy.
Yes.
And I've also grown up understanding that a lot of families don't make buying books a priority, be it economics, or they just don't realize the benefits of it. So years ago at the Bookman, we created a program called the Bookman Boost, and schools can fundraise dollars and we match those fundraised dollars so that they can come in and just go wild in the store.
Wow.
So some schools choose to give this total to their librarians. They can build up, a borrowing library for their school or for their classrooms. But this particular school chose to split it up amongst all the teachers, and all the students are coming in for field trips. So over the next few days, I think I have 6 different classrooms of kids that will come in. Wow. They'll learn about our bookstore, our history, and they all get to choose a book at the end. So it's pretty cool.
No way! Oh, I wish I had something like that going on. That just sounds so amazing. I'm a little jealous about these kids here now. Gee, I want to go wild.
And I remember we had a first-time customer down in our mystery section, and he was browsing merrily down there, and it's just pandemonium when the kids are in the store. We've got 8 aisles and they're just running up and down, choosing books and petting the cats. And he came up to the counter and we were falling all over ourselves, apologizing for how distracting the kids were. And he said, "Are you kidding me? This was the best bookstore experience I've ever had. To see this many young readers in one spot makes me so happy." And I thought that's so cool that he's celebrating along with us,
Absolutely. And I agree with his sentiments wholeheartedly. To me, that's just a great way to foster, like you mentioned, not just literacy, but, reading and the love for books. And I'm pretty sure these kids are going to remember this bookstore experience for a while. So I think it's very important as well, to have those memories of a bookstore, because later on, they're going to be your patrons. They're going to be the ones spending the money. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we do a lot of stuff with our younger readers. We have a kids club where you can do book reports on the books that you read, and every 5 book reports you turn in, you get a free kids book. We do all kinds of programs in schools where we, especially lower income schools, where we provide them with boxes of books so that teachers can slip books into their backpacks on Fridays to take home with them. We also partner with another program that provides backpacks full of food to kids on weekends, and we put books in those backpacks as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds that way. And it also sounds like you have strong roots in the community as well. So it's not just the history of, the bookstore and it being a family business and being there for a long while, but it sounds like you're really integrated in the community as well.
Oh, I love it. I think that being a responsible and active corporate citizen is something that all of us should put close to our hearts as independent booksellers. Because when you reach out into the community and you connect with people, you're connecting with your clients, but that altruism is just good for the soul of your bookstore. It's like an extension of everything that we love, right? We love to share our love of books. We love to have community in the store. So by putting that out into our city, we're inviting people to come participate in that atmosphere here too, right?
Completely agree. And I love, that mission and that vision you have for your company as well. It is amazing. On that note, what can readers walking in expect? I know this guy got, the biggest surprise ever, having a whole bunch of kids around, scuttling around, finding
it's
books
normally
to read,
a lot more peaceful than that, Victoria.
But normally, not on a normal day, if someone just walks up right to the door and they're stepping in for the first time, what can they expect? Give us a visual.
Sure. So we have a beautiful storefront, and our store manager, Sarah, builds exceptional window displays. So it's very visually arresting. You walk in and one of the cats will probably be standing by the front door waiting to greet you. They know their jobs well. And you'll hear relaxing music overhead. And then you walk in and we've got anywhere between 250,000 and 500,000 books in stock at our flagship store at a time.
Yes.
So you're just embraced by aisles and aisles of beautifully organized books. There's displays everywhere. We have literary sidelines, so we have book bags, handmade book earrings, all kinds of bookmarks. We usually have a few hundred different varieties of bookmarks in at a time, including hand-painted ones by local artists. We have what we call our geek chic areas that are like Totoro, Nightmare Before Christmas, Doctor Who, all those kind of cult classics. We've got little pockets of the store dedicated to those kind of geek chic, niche-y things that people love. So no matter where you look, it's just a treasure chest everywhere.
So you mentioned earlier that your dad was known as the bookman. So with that said, I'm going to assume everyone was expecting for you to end up in the book business one way or another. Was this something you always wanted to do?
I joke that it's like destiny or fate or dharma. Like I didn't really have a choice with a mom who was a reading specialist and a dad who had a bookstore.
Yeah.
But I did take some time to wander when I was in my teens and my early 20s.
Okay.
And I had been living abroad in Asia.
Oh.
When I came home and saw the bookstore and saw my dad in a new light, I knew that I needed to stay. So I've been here full time for 20 years now.
Wow.
And I love it. The store was passed down to me a little over 7 years ago now. But in essence, I've been running it for the last 20 years already.
Renewed eyes always seem to help some way, somehow, when it comes to going back home after being away for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. For sure. And when I came back, I introduced technology to the bookstore, which I think is becoming more common for bookstores now. But we were just a primarily used bookstore when I came back to manage. And bringing in computers, databasing, doing software development, barcoding all of our books, digitizing our customer requests, all of these things created such a solid business model that we were able to replicate it into a second store.
Right.
And I've grown my staff from a staff of 3 to a staff of 26. So
wow, yeah, that says something indeed. And I mean, I remember you mentioning you have 500,000 books. You have to stay organized one way or another. I mean, I don't know what I would do. That's a lot of books to keep track of.
It's a lot of books to keep track of, and I have to say that we definitely attract a certain type to the store. We're all like bona fide OCD organizaholics. We can't even help ourselves. Like you'll see one of us walking down the aisle to go do something, and then they'll stop and like fix a stack of books that's out of order, and then they'll keep walking. Like this is the perfect place for us.
Yeah. Sounds that way. And I'm happy you have a team that also shares the same love and vision for books in the community. So that too in itself is a huge plus.
Oh, we're so blessed, and some of our staff have been with us for decades. Like I had a staff member who recently moved up to the interior. He was with us for 21 years. Mm-hmm. So I love to say that we provide jobs that don't suck for awesome people. That's one of my taglines. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so cool to see what comes out of it. Like a couple of my staff members who really got along with each other, they started up a magazine called Sad Mag in Vancouver, and that just celebrated its 10th anniversary.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think that they just were strangers who happened to have a little weird job in a small town together, and now they've created this magazine legacy as well. So it's neat to see.
Absolutely. That's, that sounds amazing, and I'm happy that, provided them with the space and the time to foster, this great new venture. I mean, it's great.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey guys, listen to the full podcast episode over on our Patreon page. So Patreon allows listeners like you to support the show as well as our online directory for independent bookstores. You'll also get additional perks for joining, such as discount codes for some awesome products and services. You'll be able to share your input and submit questions for the show, get behind the scenes content, weekly business updates, shout outs, plus lots more. That's patreon.com/bibliofinder. I'm really looking forward to talking with you there.